I'm in the dunes of Cefn Sidan beach in Carmarthenshire, one of the vast areas of South Wales covered by an amber weather warning because of these high winds, which have been buffeting us all morning, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds. I'm glad to say that the only real damage being caused so far, at least, are a few fallen trees, a few damaged roofs. We've also seen the impact of the rain causing a lot of surface water, but at the moment the damage nothing compared to what we saw over the weekends, and particularly nothing compared to what we saw earlier on in January. Of course, that disruption wasn't great for some people, lost their power overnight, some 1,300 homes without electricity, but most of those now restored. And we've seen some disruption on the roads as well, some the Cefn Sidan crossing, for example, restrictions there. Here in Cefn Sidan, they have felt the cumulative impact of all this bad weather that we've had. These are beautiful sand dunes. Of course, they shift all the time. But what's happened in the last few weeks is that millions of tons of sand have been washed away, which means that very high cliffs have formed, which cause some danger for people who come here without exercising due caution. Emma Richards is the warden here. It's fair to say you've seen well, a pretty fast development over the last few weeks of the shape of these dunes shifting with all this bad weather.
Yeah, certainly. You know, this happened over hundreds of years. These dunes have been sheared off by the power of the tide, and we would just ask people to exercise a bit of common sense. You know, when the sand dunes are wet, they're compacted in the same way as sand castles are compacted when they're wet and they hold their shape. As they dry out, they will then collapse. So we just ask people to use a bit of common sense and just enjoy the beach down here.
Common sense, something we don't always see in steady supply when weather comes like this, because people want to come and see the elements. Lots of people walking down here at high tide this morning.
Yeah, certainly, and they can still come down and enjoy it, but it's a matter of exercising common sense and not going onto the tops of the cliffs here or playing underneath them, and certainly not going too near where the waves are breaking and could possibly suck them away.
Emma Richards, thank you very much. So high tide has passed here. Hopefully that means no greater risk of coastal flooding, but still concern over what the winds may bring and rain. While things are expected to die down this afternoon, there is already concern about tomorrow and tomorrow night, with more heavy rain being forecast for areas of South Wales.